Happy Friday, everyone. It is Friday, February 21st, and we are here. This is our 5th day of Celebration product promotion. And there is 1 week left of Celebration. Celebration ends February 28th, which is next Friday. And I've been showing you projects all week. Celebration is the best time of the Stampin' Up! Year, and it's awesome. If you spend $60, you get a free something of your choice. Or if you spend $120, there are a couple of $120 items. I showed the heart-shaped bundle on Monday, which has been very popular. Today's project, I'm going to show you, actually I started to count, it has 4 different Celebration offerings. A stamp set, a designer series paper, an embellishment, and ribbon. I started to look at it and I thought, oh, everything on this card is Celebration. So I hope that you enjoy it. I did pull some scraps. I had some scraps in the container, and I thought, oh, we will just use those for our card today. So let me turn you around and let's get started. So we are going to use the Toadstool, Toadstool Gardens, designer series paper, and this coordinates with the Toadstool stamp set and punch. I don't own that punch, unfortunately. I borrowed it last time that I used it from my friend Sarah, but the paper is so cute. There's fresh Freesia stripes with little toadstools. You know what, let me get the scraps out of the way. There's bright, fun mushrooms, toadstools, whatever your preferred word is. There's leaves that actually coordinate with those leaves on the back side. Be fun to flip that over. Let's see, I don't want to show you the scraps, I'm going to show you the big pieces. We've got the polka dots, which could be a super fun birthday card. Stripes, I'm always a polka dot and a stripes fan. This one, the pink, looks like an ice cream cone. The weave, like the waffle cone weave, along with the green background with the snails and the toadstools. This is the one piece that I'm not so sure about. And it's because if I look at this, it sort of, to me, looks like germs underneath a microscope. That's what I think of. I think of college biology. So that piece is not my favorite, but I love the swirls on the back. And then we have the various colored shades of Toadstool, and then a nice woody background. And I think that's all. Yeah. All right, so that's the patterns that are in the paper. And I have, let's see, here they are. I made a card recently, and I said last night that I did some 3x4. When I have a 12x12 piece of paper, a 3x4 is perfect, and it uses all my paper, but it left me with these pieces. So I have several. I did a swap card that used the 3x4. So I have several of these pieces, and I thought, what am I going to do with them? So today's card uses those stripes. Now I got to get all my scraps out of the way. Pam, I love this paper too, and I didn't think I would, and I would probably buy the bundle, but my friend Sarah has it, so I'm going to let her. We borrow things back and forth. So our card, we're actually going to use the fresh Freesia stripe and the swirl. And then I've cut a square from the Stylish Shapes dies, which, as we talked about last night, in case you weren't watching, I sometimes pull things that are sitting on my desk to use for whatever the project is that I have. So I've already cut, so I took these pieces from my strips that I had. I'm not sure how they fit together exactly, but anyway, maybe this was, oh, there we go. All right, so that was a 6x6 piece. And then this is just scraps from the other. The original card sample that I saw was the whole card front. And we've talked about before that I'm a matter. I like to put a mat on the front. So instead of just keeping that 2-inch strip that I had, I actually cut these down, and I wanted a really narrow piece. So I made it 1 7/8 inches. which is a little crazy if you're not super familiar. And then they are 3 inches long, so it's still the half. So you lose 1/8 of an inch, which is not terrible, not terrible. And then I cut my mats, the Melon Mambo mats, at 2 inches. And this one's 2 by 2, and this is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Okay. So let's go ahead and get all those glued on. I'm going to use the stripes side, not the toadstool, and that can go either direction. Doesn't matter which one. We're just going to go ahead and glue all of those pieces together so that they're ready to go. The sun is shining here today, and it's actually a little bit warmer. I'm looking forward to the weekend weather. Hopefully that will be even a little bit more warm. Our youngest turns 17 on Sunday, so I'm not sure what exactly we have planned for the weekend, but he has a physics test on Monday, so I'm not sure his birthday will be as fun as he would like it to be. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So we have almost all my designer series paper onto my pieces, and like I said, I already cut those, but these were a 2-inch. The Melon Mambo pieces were a 2-inch square. Okay. Once we get all these placed together, then we will be able to start assembling and stamping. All right, so the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper is our first choice. We have that, and actually, we can go ahead and we can assemble to this point. I'm going to set the card base aside because we're going to wrap some ribbon, but all of these can go right onto our mat. And it's a very narrow border, but I didn't want it to be super big because I wanted that designer series paper to be the star. So for this one, I did my sentiment down in this corner. I'm trying to decide, you know what, let's go, no, let's do it the same way, because I'm not sure if it would be weird to have a sentiment up here or down here. All right, sometimes I think way too much. I overthink the process, guaranteed. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start up in the upper right. And I'm just going to leave a small mat. If you want to just kind of lay it on there and not fully push it down, that might be helpful. So that way if you need to readjust, then you can do that. Because then I'm going to put this one here. And since they're all these two are the same, and then our squares are the same, then the borders should all match. Stripes. And you would not even know that this paper is toadstools, right? Because it's stripes, it's swirls. Not sure if I have my other toadstool card handy. All right. If I'm straight, then I think I can go ahead and push those down. Glance at it really quick so that they're all even. Sometimes it's easier to just pick those up. All right, so we have our 4 panels. That could easily also be done without the mat if you so chose, and just use your 2-inch strips. That's totally fine. I just wanted that extra piece of color. All right, now I have my squares that I cut from the Stylish Shapes dies, and my sample, I didn't put any background thing on it. It's a good day to celebrate. We've used that earlier this week, and it's from the Day to Celebrate stamp set. And after I did this last night, I thought, maybe some confetti on the background in Fresh Freesia might add just a little bit. I have 2 here, so if I do one and we don't like it, then we will just put that aside. I think I'm going to stamp off first because I don't want it to be too dark. I just want it to be a little bit of fun in the background. So I'm going to just stamp that off onto my grid paper and add add just a little bit of that purple color. There we go. I think that'll be okay. I'm going to hang on to that though because we're going to use it on the inside of our card too. Okay, then we're going to switch over to the Melon Mambo. And we are going to do a good day to it's a good day to celebrate right here on the square, right on top of this. I got to stand up so I can see. I keep saying I need a stool. I think that will work. Now, set that aside. I'm just going to pop this piece, well, eventually, I'm going to pop it up and I'm going to put it right in the center of this square. Okay, so that our square right here is, has multiple layers. But before I do that, I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon. And it's just a light ribbon. It's very easy to tie bows with. It's very easy to wrap around things, and it's not too bulky, which is actually a very nice thing. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing it right because seam binding seems a little strange. Fresh Freesia is actually popular in the Stampin' Up! World right now because confetti up here on this one too, Pam? Is that what you're talking about on this square? It is, we have a new ribbon that's coming out and some online exclusives in March. That's a Fresh Freesia ribbon as well. When we get done here, I will, I'll actually show it to you. I'll run over to my box and I'll grab it. All right, so I'm gonna tie that bow on there. Get that, I did it on the first try. If you know me, that's like a miracle. Okay, trim that off. So we have our ribbon, and then we're going to put this piece on here, but we're going to use dimensionals just to give it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of a pop. On all four corners. Okay. Oh, if you're watching, do you have big weekend plans? What? Anything exciting? Enjoying the weather. It's going to be 50 degrees. That's like a heat wave. Of course, if it was 110 yesterday and 50 today, then we'd think that it was terrible. But it's all about perspective, right? Okay. Now, Pam, was this the corner that you meant? A little bit of confetti up there in that corner? I can do that. We'll do it. I'm going to be careful about it, though, because I don't want to get it all over my card. But let's see. All right. It's a done deal now. There we go. How about that? A little bit of Fresh Freesia confetti on our card. Okay, so since this ribbon is so thin, we can actually just use regular adhesive to put this panel onto our card front. It shouldn't be a problem. So I'll go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to put that on the front of our Melon Mambo card. So there we have Toadstool paper, Good Day to Celebrate, a Day to Celebrate stamp set, the Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon, and then I feel like we've used these every single day, but they are so versatile. Then we have the purple adhesive backed Sequins, which is also a Celebration offering. So let's do a couple of those. I think, let's see. Should we do some pink ones maybe? Or some Fresh Freesia? Do you have opinions on that? Think about that, which color sequins you would like me to use. And while I am waiting on you to decide, I'm going to just stamp Happy Birthday on the inside in Melon Mambo. And that also came from the Day to Celebrate stamp set. Put that right up at the top. And then let's do a little bit of confetti. off one, and I'm going to put it kind of over our words a little bit. And we'll put that on the inside. You could also do that confetti on your envelope. I'm not going to do an envelope today, but it'd be very cute in the corner of your envelope or all over the front of your envelope. Put that right on the inside. I think that's fun. And that, okay, so we're back to our gems. And let's, I did a pink one on the other one. Let's, you know what, let's go with the fresh Freesia. Let's just put them around our card. On all the panels. All right, so we have Melon Mambo card with our fresh Freesia mat. And the 4 celebration items that we used for this card, I think this is a record. I think I've only used 3 on cards. The fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon, the Day to Celebrate stamp set, the purple adhesive bag gems, and the Toadstool Gardens designer series paper. Let me grab really quick while you check out those cards. I'm going to grab that fresh Freesia new ribbon that's coming out, and you can see how cute it is. Right here, but the new ribbon is actually faux velvet. Yeah, faux velvet ribbon, and it's an 1/8 of an inch, I think. Yeah, an 1/8 of an inch. And it's just a little bit soft, kind of a fun ribbon. We could have easily used that as well and tied a bow on there. Only furry on one side though, so you have to be a little bit careful about how you tie your bow. But that one would also tie in with our project as well. So look for that. The new online exclusives come out March 4th, so right after Celebration. But if you spend $60 in my online store, you can choose one of those items. If you spend $120, you can choose 2. If you spend $150, then you technically qualify as your own party, and you can get $15 for free in addition to the 2 extra stamps, or the 2 extra celebration items. And if you have a huge wish list, like really huge, you can super shop, and you could have your own workshop. If you spend $300, you get an extra $30 for free, which is over $60 for free. I know that's a little bit crazy, but if you have a long wish list, this is your chance. But if your wish list is that big, then there's the other option of buying the starter kit for $99, and you can get $155 of stuff to go in that. You can choose the extra stuff, or you can choose markers, the color families of markers. You can get 2 of those, which is actually an extra, I think that's an extra $70, or $60. I think those are $30 a piece. And then you get 20% off any order that you place on your own after that. So that is the sweetest deal, but if you're just looking to spend a little bit, then the $60 celebration is perfect. I will include the shopping link in case you're interested in that, because you don't want a good sale to go by. Anyway, I hope that you all have a fabulous weekend. We'll be back here Monday at 3, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Have a fabulous weekend. Thanks for joining me.